Welcome to the Hollywood Secrets Information. In this video, we are diving deep into the late-night vault of television history, into moments that looked funny, charming, and harmless on the surface, but carried a much darker truth underneath. For 3 decades, Johnny Carson ruled late night on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. He laughed with presidents, flirted with starlets, and joked with America's biggest legends. But behind the applause signs and studio laughter, there were guests whose real lives were far from glamorous. Some carried shocking secrets, some committed crimes that stunned the world, and some would later be exposed in ways no one saw coming. Tonight, we're revealing 9 Golden Age guests who appeared on Carson's couch and were later exposed for behavior so disturbing, so manipulative, or so criminal that it changed how audiences viewed them forever. And trust us, number 5 is the most shocking of all. Make sure to watch until the end, because what seemed like harmless TV history may look very different after this. And if you love uncovering the hidden truths of old Hollywood, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let's begin. 9. Charles Manson. Before the full horror of his crimes became widely understood, Charles Manson's name was already circulating in entertainment circles. While he did not appear as a traditional celebrity guest, discussions about him surfaced during the cultural chaos of the late 1960s on Carson's show. At the time, many Americans still struggled to comprehend how someone who projected a strange, almost soft-spoken persona could orchestrate such brutality. The Manson's manipulation of vulnerable young followers, leading to the 1969 Tate LaBianca murders, revealed a chilling ability to mask evil beneath charisma. Looking back, it's unsettling how figures like him could hover so close to mainstream media conversation before the full darkness was exposed. The contrast between television's polished surface and the horror behind his name remains disturbing even decades later. 8. O.J. Simpson. When O.J. Simpson appeared on Carson's stage, he was America's golden boy, a charismatic NFL legend turned actor. Audiences saw charm, humor, and effortless likability. His appearances were lighthearted, often playful, reinforcing his image as a beloved sports hero. But in 1994, everything changed. Simpson was arrested and later tried for the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman in one of the most televised trials in history. Though acquitted in criminal court, the public perception of him shifted dramatically. Watching old clips of his Tonight Show appearances now feels eerie, knowing how dramatically his legacy would collapse under the weight of scandal and suspicion. 7. Roman Polanski. Acclaimed director Roman Polanski was celebrated in Hollywood long before controversy overshadowed his name. Discussions of his films and artistry appeared across major talk platforms of the era, including Carson's. At the time, he was viewed as a creative genius with European sophistication. But in 1977, Polanski was arrested and later pleaded guilty to unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor. He fled the United States before sentencing and has remained a fugitive from U.S. justice ever since. The admiration once expressed for his cinematic brilliance now sits alongside one of Hollywood's most troubling legal scandals, forcing audiences to grapple with the divide between artistic achievement and moral accountability. 6. Robert Blake. Robert Blake was a familiar face in classic television and film, later known for his starring role in Beretta. On talk shows, he often appeared intense but charismatic, a working actor with grit and presence. In 2001, Blake's wife, Bonnie Lee Backley, was shot and killed. Blake was later charged with her murder. Though he was acquitted in criminal court, he was found liable in a civil wrongful death lawsuit. The legal battles and media frenzy transformed his image permanently. Watching his earlier appearances now, many viewers notice a tension that once seemed like artistic edge but now feels darker in hindsight. 5. Bill Cosby. This is the one that shocks audiences the most. For years, Bill Cosby embodied the image of wholesome entertainment. When he appeared on Carson's show, he was funny, smooth, and universally respected. He was seen as a role model, especially for family audiences who later embraced him on television. But decades later, dozens of women came forward with accusations of sexual assault and misconduct. In 2018, Cosby was convicted on criminal charges, a conviction later overturned on procedural grounds. Yet the cultural impact was irreversible. The fall from America's Dad to one of the most controversial figures in entertainment history remains one of Hollywood's most devastating revelations. The contrast between the laughter on Carson's stage and the allegations that followed is profoundly unsettling. For Errol Flynn, he was the swashbuckling star of classics like The Adventures of Robin Hood, was the embodiment of golden age glamour. Though Flynn's prime predated Carson's peak years, he remained a cultural reference point and symbol of Hollywood excess. Behind the heroic screen persona were serious allegations and scandalous accusations involving underage girls in the 1940s. Although he was acquitted in court, his reputation was permanently stained. Flynn's story became a cautionary tale about how fame and charm can conceal deeply troubling behavior, a pattern that echoes through entertainment history. 3. Jimmy Savile. He was a frequent television presence in the UK and appeared in American media circles as well. During his lifetime, he was praised for charity work and quirky eccentricity. He cultivated an image of generosity and harmless oddity. After his death in 2011, hundreds of allegations surfaced accusing him of sexual abuse spanning decades. Investigations revealed systemic failures that allowed his actions to go unchecked. The scale of the scandal shocked the world. The idea that someone so publicly celebrated could privately exploit so many remains one of media history's darkest chapters. 2. Phil Spector. Music legend Phil Spector was a revolutionary producer responsible for the wall of sound. When he appeared in public interviews during his prime, he was seen as eccentric but brilliant, a mastermind behind countless hits. But in 2003, actress Lana Clarkson was found dead in his mansion. After a highly publicized trial, Spector was convicted of second-degree murder in 2009. The image of a musical genius was forever replaced by that of a convicted killer. His earlier television appearances now feel like fragments of a completely different reality. 1. Woody Allen. He was a frequent guest in late-night conversations about filmmaking and comedy. Intelligent, awkward, and quick-witted, he was celebrated as a creative force in American cinema. However, allegations involving his personal life, including accusations of inappropriate conduct, cast a long and controversial shadow over his legacy. Though he has consistently denied wrongdoing and was never criminally convicted in connection with those accusations, public debate continues intensely. His case highlights how complex and polarizing the intersection of fame, art, and morality can be. Hollywood's golden glow has always dazzled audiences, but as we've seen tonight, sometimes the brightest lights cast the darkest shadows. From beloved comedians to respected directors, these stories remind us that television appearances only show a carefully crafted image. Behind the laughter of The Tonight Show and the charm of celebrity interviews were lives far more complicated, and in some cases, deeply disturbing. If this video opened your eyes or changed how you see classic Hollywood history, let us know in the comments. Which revelation shocked you the most? Was number 7 as unbelievable as you expected? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more untold Hollywood secrets. Thanks for watching.